Hey YouTube, this is Courtney and Humberto from GrayLaw TV, and we love the questions and answers that we're getting, and we're also loving the comments that our videos are helping you get these visas at the U.S. consulates abroad. And thanks to Courtney, she has a very good video that has hundreds of thousands of views, and it's getting real good traction. You might go to that video. So here's one comment that was posted. This was posted by Funmi. Firstly, I'd like to say God favored me with the visa interview. And secondly, this video is so helpful and straight to the point. Got my visa approval today. Congratulations, Funmi.
Congratulations.
So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about B1, B2 visas.
We are? Okay. I have questions that people have sent in.
Sure.
But they've been about the B1, B2, they've been about marriage, they've been about all sorts of things. So
okay.
Let's
so
get at it.
We're going to answer your questions. You've asked us questions, and we're going to answer those questions today.
Cool.
You can go.
Oh, so this one is from Adi Garcia Diaz. We've been married for 5 years so far. We have the appointment next month. I'm very nervous because my husband doesn't speak English fluently. I've heard couples say that they were separated for the questions. If we aren't separated, can I translate for my husband? I assume you're talking about the adjustment of status marriage interview. So typically they don't separate you. Typically you're interviewed together. Every now and again, an officer hasn't had his coffee or her coffee and they'll separate you. If you look very different, if he's like super tall and you're super short, or there's like a 20-year age gap or something, they might separate you. Whether you're separated or not, you may not translate for each other, okay? So you could take a friend to translate for you. Sometimes USCIS will use a dial-in service if you don't have a translator, or they'll ask somebody in the lobby, hey, does anybody speak whatever language and can translate for this couple? So it'll be a third-party translator if you take a friend with you, or a family member, something like that. So if you do that, that person has to be a U.S. citizen or a legal permanent resident. They have to show their passport or their green card, and they can only translate. It's so hard when somebody asks a question and you translate it and they don't quite get the answer and you want to help. And so you're like, oh, their address they're asking, or you start speaking instead of just translating. The officer can get grumpy. So make sure that you're just translating it and that you've explained to the person that they're only to translate, okay? And sometimes people get nervous and they start making jokes or they start interjecting, which is going to prolong their interview, and officers don't like that either because they have a long day, okay, and a lot of people to see. So somebody sort of professional and can walk in with you. Otherwise they'll help provide one for you.
Yeah, just to add to that, I did a segment on what not to do in an adjustment interview. And one thing to avoid that separation, have your documentation in order. Bring joint documents. Yeah. If you come with a stack of documents, the officer's going to look at it. And he's going to say, okay, this might be a real marriage. I'm not going to separate these folks. Yeah, and you're organized and you have your stuff together, and you sort of look the part, look like you go together, that kind of thing. Yeah. We do have videos on the marriage interview, including one coming up about that walks you through what it sort of looks like. Oh, yeah, that's going to be a good one,
yeah.
That's going to be a good one.
So make sure you check those out.
Mary Moose. I visited before U.S. for 10 years, many times without a problem. Can I apply for B2 visa because I love to shop in America? Now you want to make sure she brings her checkbook. No, don't bring your checkbook to the interview. But you want to bring your bank statements, because your bank statement's going to be a real good indication that you have a lot of money to shop in America, and it's going to support your 214B requirement that you need to show that you're going to return to your home country after your shopping in America. So have fun at Saks Fifth Avenue.
The only thing I would add is that this might be one of those places where you want to bring your old passport, show that you've come in and gone out and in and out, and you've never overstayed and you've never had a problem, and that's just who you are. You just come and shop, because we do have fabulous clothes here. Oh, my turn. Okay. So this one is from Alex Adolfo. I got denied yesterday. On August 21st, I was visiting my uncle's 22-year wedding anniversary. What went wrong? I know.
Poor guy.
I know. It's hard to say without more information. I don't know if you had the invitation with you. I don't know if you were able to say that you had a relationship with this uncle. Have you visited before? Did you show that you visited before and exited on time? Has your uncle come to visit you? Do you have, family photos, that kind of thing? Do you have the ability to show that you can pay for your trip, your flight? Where are you staying? Did you have your uncle's address handy with you? Who else in your family is going? When do you plan on coming back? All of those sorts of things. If you had one of those sponsorship letters from your uncle, that's such a myth that you need something like this, that may have thrown them off, because nobody in the United States is supposed to be sponsoring you. You're supposed to be able to care for yourself and show that you can return. Do you have a job? Did you show that you have a home? Did you show that, all of those things that if you check out the B1, B2 interview video on what you're supposed to bring with you, and the other video on what questions they're going to ask you, did you go through all of those things and show them all of those things? So check out those videos. Maybe try again. It's going to be a little more difficult because they're going to see that it was denied before, but you can say, I didn't have all my ducks in a row last time, but now I have the documents that you need to see.
Yeah, don't be discouraged. Wait 6 months, try again.
Yeah, but the party is soon. He's got to try again now.
Well, I don't think he's going to make this party.
No, but I want him to go. Maybe 25. Maybe they're like, 22 is not a big anniversary. What's the big deal? Maybe for the 25th
25th
anniversary.
you'll be there, exactly.
Yeah, the silver anniversary.
Sally Pacheco. Hi, I'm married to a U.S. citizen 3 months ago. Can I apply for a B2 visa? You can certainly apply for a B2 visa, but I don't think it's going to be approved. They know that you have an intent to go to the U.S., and you can change your status to get a green card, and that could be problematic. You can't satisfy the 214B. What you may want to do if you want to get to the U.S., a little earlier, is apply for a K3 visa. I've done some other segments on that. You can look at those segments. They're really good. You can apply for it. The adjudication time is not so long. But it doesn't hurt to try for the B1, B2. Just be very honest. Look, I was married 3 months ago, and I'm going to visit right now. We don't have the wedding plan, or the wedding's going to be in my home country, whatever the case may be. If you have evidence to support that, bring that to the interview and say, look, I just want to go and visit for a short period of time, and I'm coming back, and later we'll think about applying for the green card.
Well, they're already married, so they're having, maybe they're having another ceremony. Because a lot of people do that. They have the civil ceremony, and then they have the...
Exactly, the big wedding.
The big wedding, with all the family and friends, and you want everybody there. Anyway, okay. Jason Pacitas. Hi, ma'am. How about if someone will sponsor you? Does the U.S. Embassy ask me something? Can you please tell me what it is? Thank you, and God bless. Okay. As you may have heard us say before, the sponsorship thing is a myth, meaning it's not true. You don't want to take a sponsorship letter. You want to show ties to your home country. The stronger you show your ties are to the United States, the more likely they are to deny your visa, because they think that you're planning on immigrating here permanently. You should be able to show bank statements showing that you have money in the bank, that you can pay for your flight, that you can pay for your hotel, or if you're staying with relatives, like, I have a free place to stay because my aunt is there, or what have you. But I wouldn't take necessarily a sponsorship letter with somebody saying, I'm going to sponsor him and I'm going to give him financial support with their bank statement. I wouldn't do any of that. Now, if you're a young person and you're traveling to the United States for a couple weeks to visit an aunt, and your parents are going to sponsor you, your parents who are in your home country, that's cool to show. You're 20.
Sure.
I mean, they don't expect you to have tons of money. So yeah, my parents are sending me for a short visit, and then you could show your parents' bank statements, but also show that you have ties to your country, that you're enrolled in school, that you have a job, whatever the case may be. Be sure to check out the B1, B2 video for that one, okay?
Yeah, we just did a segment on the 5 common mistakes at a B1, B2 interview. That's the number one mistake, the invitation letter. Don't bring it.
Yeah.
Don't bring it.
Yeah, I don't know why that's so prevalent out there, but
it's just a big myth.
Yeah.
And it's circulating. There's some questions here about that.
Yeah.
Let's take Elta Barami. Hello, I'm participating in the Microsoft World Championship, and my visa interview is this week. I'm under 18. Should I bring both my parents with me? And what else do I need? So they probably won't let your parents in, but congratulations on your endeavor, and I hope you do well in the U.S. You're under 18, so you will need to bring documentation to show that you live with your parents, that they have enough money to support your trip to the U.S. I would certainly bring the invitation letter in this instance, showing that you were chosen to participate in this event. That's going to be important in this instance. So sometimes, an invitation letter that is something that's going to support your application, you can bring. And this is one of those cases that demonstrates, yes, you will bring that letter.
And I would only add that once you have your visa, your parents can give it a shot. I mean, they could go in and say, my daughter's traveling, she's 17, she's traveling to the United States for this competition. Mm-hmm. Here's her invitation letter. I don't want my daughter, thousands of miles from me with, whomever. I don't know these people, these Microsoft people. So, I'm just kidding. Sorry, Microsoft. They're wonderful. I love them. Okay, anyway.
So the Google competition.
Yeah.
Because we're on YouTube, right?
Exactly. So they can give it a shot. I mean, all they can say is no, right? And so they're in the same position. It never hurts to ask. Next question. From Nani M. Can a person on a tourist visa get married to a U.S. citizen? Oh yes, Nani, you can. They really don't like it if you do it within 90 days. They think that when you enter the United States that maybe you weren't honest with them, because when you entered on your tourist visa, you have to enter with the intent to return to your home country. So they think, oh no, she didn't tell us the truth, or he didn't tell us the truth. She was entering with the intent to get married and to stay here. So they really don't love to see it within 90 days. But if you enter and then you change your mind and decide to get married, that's perfectly fine. Okay?
That's right, because she got a really nice ring and she couldn't say no.
So this one is from Sana Albat. If a man already married to a USA citizen, so that I'm sorry. We're going to start again.
The font is too small. That's why I use this. The font's really big.
Okay. This one's...
Come on, we need our bloopers here, too.
From Sana Abad.
Would you like my glasses?
Ha 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 ha. It's very big fonts. It's just... Okay. Sana Abad. This one's from Sana Abad. If a man is already married to a U.S. citizen, can he sponsor another second wife from his home country? No. Okay. Polygamy is not cool in the United States, and they will deny your visa. It's tough because in a lot of places, it's totally fine, totally normal, and people are married to more than one person. Typically it's a man married to more than one woman. Are there places where there are women married to more than one man? Mm-hmm. Really? I want to go to there. Anyway, I'm just curious. Sorry, I got totally distracted by that one. So it's a grounds for denial. So it's totally normal in a lot of places to have more than one spouse, to have more than one wife, and to have more than one husband. You said there's places like this? All right. But in the U.S., we're really weird about it. There's some things we're totally free about, and then other things where we're super uptight, and this is one of those places where we're super uptight. So I'm really sorry, because I know, this is a family. Lots of times with kids, and they want to bring their whole family here, and now they have to pick and choose who they get to bring. What Sana asked as a follow-up question, because Sana is very smart, is can a man sponsor his girlfriend? So, I have one wife and I have a girlfriend. No, they don't like to see that either. There are ways if there are very significant, important people in your household, because not everybody is married, right? So if there is a man who has a girlfriend who is not married, there are ways for that person to come in on the B1, B2 visa, and you're very honest with the consulate. We're in a committed relationship. Maybe you have kids, maybe you don't. He has a work visa here, and so I'd like a B1, B2 visa I'd like a B2 visa to come in and hang out with him while he's on his work visa, and then I'll go home at the end of it. And you can go back and forth and extend, and people do that all the time. They used to do that for same-sex couples routinely before marriage was legal, so it's completely common, okay? And so they're used to that. But if that person is married, they're not going to allow it. So some other ways to get significant people in your household to come in, you can sponsor them for a green card through an employment petition. So if you're here with a company, or you're starting a company, or you have a business in the United States, or a friend has a business in the United States that wants to hire the significant person in your household, you can go that way. You can also incorporate your household and hire a nanny. People do that. I'm not in any way, shape, or form advocating that you circumvent immigration laws. That would be wrong. But if this is true and this is your circumstance,
it's going to be a tough one.
You can do it.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one.
I've done a nanny. Whatever, call me.
Eduardo from South America. I'm a golfer, and my dream is to play on the PGA Tour. I have gone to the consulate. I'm not quite sure what type of visa, because I have a tournament that's coming up in the U.S. that I'd like to participate in. Can you give me some advice? So Eduardo, being a golfer myself and following the PGA Tour for a long time, there's a special provision in the B1 regulations that allow for you to come to the United States and to participate in the tournament. So when you go to the consulate, you want to have your ranking, you want to have your information to show that individual exactly that you're playing on the tour in South America, and then you want to show the schedule for the upcoming tour, and they've chosen you to come and participate in that tour, and you've qualified, so they can issue you what's called the B1 visa. Good luck, and hit them straight, keep it on the short grass.
Little known secret about Humberto Gray, he's not just a golfer, he's a very good golfer, and
at times.
You were on the professional tour in the Dominican Republic.
Yes, I was.
Whatever, he's good. Okay, so this one is from Portia Amanqua. I hope I'm saying that right. Hello, ma'am. Please, what if we never live together after marriage? Okay. I'm not sure what the circumstances here. I don't know if you're talking about marriage to a United States citizen or a marriage to someone else in your home country, and you're worried about questions about that. The reason why I decided to answer this question is because one of our YouTube viewers, replied to you and gave you advice. Which is difficult to do when you don't have more information. So I just want to, just to give you a bit of advice. If it's not from me, if it's not from GrayLaw TV, if it's not from Humberto, I can't vouch for that. Okay. So whatever advice you hear outside of that, take it with a grain of salt. If it's from us, again, it's not legal advice, but it's from lawyers who specialize in this area, so you can listen to it and do some research, and I would highly advise that you get a lawyer of your own, a very competent lawyer to help you with difficult situations. But when just folks are just replying and giving you advice on YouTube, be careful. Okay.
I'd like to add, it's an interesting question, because there are some circumstances where the individuals are married and they're not living together because of circumstance, maybe employment. He got a job in New York and she's in school at UCLA in California. As long as you can explain the reason for you not living together, which is normally the case for married people, in some circumstances.
So I don't know if you got married and then he went back to the United States and you're trying to figure out how to come in. I don't know if you're separated and don't plan on getting back together. In that case, you cannot file a marriage petition. But depending on the circumstances, there's always a way around. You're going to be fine. Thanks for watching GrayLaw TV, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.